Okay, all righty. Good evening, everybody. And fair crowd here, considering that it's we're getting into summertime here. A lot of people working in gardens and stuff like that. See a nasty looking sky behind us. So it'd be might maybe a good thing we got here when we did, and hopefully the rain will be done when we finish when we're done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be daring and unafraid, and I'm going to introduce you all myself. So I got James WA9MED, I got Bruce KM4EHU, and I got Bart KB4FEE, and I got Bob AF4OY, and I got JB WA4WWH, and I got Bill N4DIT, and I got Bob KI4JWK. And Tim, what is your prefix?
KF.
KF, okay. Yes. KF4 MPM, right?
Right.
Mike Papa Mike. And over in the corner, Smokey, KE6IVK.
You get a gold star.
Almost. I had to ask him for his prefix because I have more problems with prefixes than I do with suffixes. So now what happens is sometime when somebody's talking, and I got to write all this down for the minutes. So, okay, for the June luncheon, I'm going to recommend Thursday, June 22nd. How's that for anybody who wants to attend? And that will be at the Frisch's in Hamburg. Is that okay with everybody? Okay, so moved. Let's talk about both past and present. Bars and Jaws had a family day, and you had did you get some QRP operator, Smokey, for that?
Well, Glenn and was out there, and Martin was out there.
Okay.
Here it is. And then I don't know what James. What wattage were you running, James?
100.
Yeah, they weren't getting too many
And I wasn't
contacts.
having good luck with that either.
They weren't getting too many contacts, and I think that Martin was playing more than he was.
Okay.
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 But yeah, we had those two guys. I think that Glenn and Martin were using the same radio. Glenn didn't bring very much equipment, I don't think. Is that right? Because he was pretty much in charge of that.
Yeah.
We had good food. A couple of drones came out and showed off their stuff and flew around. But we had a few kids. We had a fire truck. Actually, we had 2 fire trucks show up, and then we had a police car there all day long, showing off their little bit of equipment.
Good deal.
So we had fun. Wish
Okay.
more people had showed up, but
Yeah, I had concealed carry class that day. So actually, it was a good day to be outside, not in a classroom.
yeah, it sure was. It was a beautiful day. Bill and he just said her name, Corbin. They did the cooking, and most of the food was eaten up, so that was a good thing. But I think there were a few hot dogs and stuff left over.
Okay, good deal. Okay, looking ahead to field day, I understand that the Dawsons and the Colvins are planning to go to the Horse Park Primitive Campground on Friday for the it's a pre-field day thing, and so they will, and then they're gonna pack up Saturday morning, and another group is actually using that campground for field day. And so while you're on a hot streak, you want to talk about Bars Field Day for anybody that wants to.
Yeah,
From
I'll let you
KY-QRP
know
to-
about the other group that's out at the horse park.
What'd you say?
The other group that's out at the horse park is Don Allison's
Yeah,
group.
WC4D.
Yeah, he's going to set up out there We have Veterans Park, shelter number 3. Right now, we only have one operator, or actually 2 operators that said that they were going to show up. Need more. I wish we could find a CW operator. I really do. Somebody that would come out there and just operate a couple hours and do some CW for us. Then we can add that to our realm of stuff that we do on field day. We will be having food according to Bill Vore, and the same people that cooked at our family day will be cooking at field day, and it usually turns out to be a pretty good thing. And after this meeting, we're going to talk more about it. Right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 radios that I know are going to be there. Saturday morning, I called a meeting for it. The only person that showed up was Tim and James. And, well, David Nash showed up, but I don't think he was there for field day. But we'll have a good time, just like always. I mean, people show up, and I don't know if we're going to have an information table this year because nobody's volunteered to do it. And I think I'm going to be a little bit too busy because I'm going to be coordinating both as president and as field day coordinator. So, you know, field day coordinator is the guy that points and tells you where to put your antennas. So.
Okay, and anybody who wants to set up a QRP station, I'm sure Smokey would be glad to have you. So
yeah, let me know a little bit before that if you're going to do that, so I can add you in. This year I'm trying to write down everything that we do, so that if something happens to me, then I can pass it on, or somebody can pass it on. If it's on paper and Bruce has it, then he can hand it on to the next guy.
okay, good deal. We're well into Hamfest season, and just a reminder that if anybody goes to a Hamfest around the state, feel free to organize a KY-QRP meeting. They're a lot of fun because you'll see people that you won't see at our meetings because they live a long way from Lexington and don't want to drive here on a weeknight. And so it's really a lot of fun. Even the ones that are at let's say the Lexington Hamfest or the Richmond Hamfest, the same deal. A lot of people show up. And really all you have to do is just find somebody that's one of the Hamfest officials and see if you can get whatever is their meeting or forum room, get permission to use it and see what times they have available. And then just have them announce it on the PA. It doesn't have to be scheduled in advance. People hear that, well, I'm a QRPer, I want to learn about that, and they show up. So we have excellent attendance at these things. And keep in mind that I've got these printouts, which are also available in the files section on the Yahoo group. Or if you need some, I can arrange to get some to you. And this has got all the stuff about our meetings, the fact that we're a special interest group within bars, the monthly lunch, all the stuff about the Yahoo group, which is really our official means of communication. Talks about I added a Facebook page a few months back, so I've got that on here now. You can go to YouTube and search for KY-QRP and see video I've shot from field events, videos that I've shot for these meetings or that Brad has shot much of the time. So, so anyhow, do that. And a reminder that we need a volunteer to do that for the Lexington Hamfest because I will not be able to make it. I'm leaving the day before for the Outer Banks of North Carolina with 3 women. So I'm not going to be here for Lexington.
Good luck.
Thank you. And I should be here for Richmond, so I should be able to organize the meeting at the Richmond Hamfest, and that's really the limit of Hamfest that I go to. Brad and I are going to go to Milford, but that's a different state that I moved away from many years ago, and I just, they can do their own thing. So on that, okay, now still looking for a volunteer for anybody that's big into field work. this fella named Jim Boyd, KM4KGN, who is the, I believe he's the emergency coordinator for Mercer County, and he has a place that he runs that's like sort of like a giant camp, 50 acres or so. Some of it's wooded, some of it's not. They hold weddings there, they hold family reunions there, a little bit of everything. And him being a ham says that we can come down there anytime we want and do anytime when he's not busy doing something else, can do a field event. And says both the lower pasture and barn have their own electric services, and we have about 30 acres of trees where you guys can hang antennas. And he can take us on a weekday, which is good because on the weekends he's usually got either weddings or ministry related stuff like that. So still looking for a volunteer to contact the guy and go down there and just kind of get an idea of the lay of the land. Just kind of say, well, here'd be a good place to set up, where restrooms or porta potties might be, or something like that. So that's Jim Boyd. And so if somebody wants to volunteer to do that, by all means, feel free. Roger Colvin mentioned a while back about the fact that there'd been a management change at the horse park, especially with regard to the campground, the primitive campground. And he has clarified that, and they just basically said, it used to be that if you didn't want to stay overnight, you could just kind of go in there, set up, operate, and pack up your stuff and go. What they're saying now is they really want the money, which is like $19 for up to 8 people, and that includes the right to stay overnight. But even if you're just going to be there for the day, they want that payment. You can't just use it for free. So in the future, what we'll be doing is when somebody wants to organize something up there, we'll somebody will front the money, and then people will just kick in a few bucks. And if it should happen to get over 8 people, then we'll kick in some additional funds. But by the same token, you can now stay overnight for free. That's one way of looking at it. So they're gonna, and I think for this pre-field day thing, I think they're actually going to stay overnight. But in any event, the $19 needs to be paid is what I've been told. So I guess you go up there and set up and leave and see whether anybody stops you. I don't know, but but I appreciate Roger taking the time to research all that. So okay, so now let's kind of open it up for what people have been doing, and I'll start with you, Bob. Have you had any luck getting back on the air or anything going?
It's been kind of slow, but I did bring something for show and tell.
Okay, excellent.
And this is some paddles that I use iambic with my radios, and I made these. This is solid brass, and it is a magnetic spring. And so for the folks that like to build stuff, you may want to stop by and take a look at these.
Excellent. Okay. So any new antennas or anything?
No.
Well, you got all summer, so.
I'm kind of bogged down. I'm retired, and you just don't have a whole lot of time.
Yeah, that's the way it is for me. That's the way it is for me. I tell people there's, in retirement there's a continuum. I've known some people that were so bored in the first week they were retired that they had to go do something. And then on the other end of the spectrum are people that don't know how they ever worked. And I'm in that category. I'm at that extreme. I run all day trying to get everything done that I want to get done.
Yeah,
The goals that I set for myself. So
when I worked, I thought, well, heck, when I retire, I wouldn't have a supervisor. But my wife is tougher than
Well,
any supervisor I've ever had.
Well, I don't have that problem, but I guess I supervise myself. You know, I start to growl at myself if I don't get as much done as I had hoped to. So, okay, well, appreciate it, Bob. So, just throwing it open to anybody. David, anything cool going on?
Let's see.
Your 80-meter antenna or something?
We actually rigged up a 4-to-1 Guanella current balance for it, because it's a 1/3, 2/3 antenna.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little schematic to pass around here, and was only able to get a couple of pictures printed off on my cheap imported printer before it refused to print anymore because one of the cartridges was low. It's an Epson, but this is kind of what it looks like here. It's what it is it's a dual core, and I've also got some more pictures here on the computer. But it's got it's a one core here, one core here, and then you got the coax here, and then to each side of the antenna.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I've drawn a complete blank on your call again, as I usually do. So,
Well, it's KG4JDY.
what was the prefix again? KG golf.
Yeah, KG4.
Okay. Take away my gold star again. Okay.
But another thing I got to do too
Good.
was a couple weeks ago, and I went on a business trip up to Indiana. And while I was up there, we got to do a little bit of sightseeing. And so up in northern Indiana, near the Sand Dunes Park up there. I was staying in a hotel up there, and I was able to set up an antenna across the second floor.
Excellent.
And there was a contest going on. It's one of those where you announce your call and the number of contacts that you made during the course of the contest. And being QRP, I got about 2 contacts in 1 hour, but one of them was actually down in Barbados.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, that's field work as far as I'm concerned. And with the way conditions have been, QRP is rough. So, okay, anything else for us? Has your dad been doing anything interesting other than going to did he do any good at the swap meet Saturday?
Let's see, he gave away some stuff, and then he emailed me and they gave away and sold some stuff. He gave me actually a real nice antenna that loads up 10, 12, 15, and 17. So I'll be figuring out how to set that up, and hopefully have something to present here for the next meeting.
Oh, okay, okay. So he bought that for you, or gave it to you, or?
Yeah, he gave it to me. He's accumulated a lot of radio stuff over the years.
Oh yeah. He's been in longer than I have.
Yeah, he's got a whole antenna farm in his backyard as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got a 160 that goes all the way across the property too.
Mm-hmm. I haven't looked at his QRZ page, and he was licensed before me, and I also didn't realize how many different call signs he's had down through the years. I only knew of 2, but he had a KU4 call, and then he also had a 0 call, probably when he was in Iowa.
Yeah,
And so I'm sure there's a story, around all that, but.
Yeah, they used to have like 5 rings back in the day, and then also he would try to travel different places too.
Yeah, I know he was doing a lot of traveling at one point. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, just starting over here with anybody have, this would be, contacts that you've made, antennas, kits, just, really anything with regard to your station.
I guess the biggest thing I've done was museum ships weekend was this weekend.
Okay.
And I got 22 ships, I think.
Mhm.
Solid 22. A little rough at times, but there was about 5 of them that I heard that I could never get through because there was just too many.
Too big a pile up.
Yeah, too big.
Yeah. Those operating events a lot of times will have really nice wallpaper, and I consider myself to be a wallpaper collector, but I didn't get on. I think we had a field event on that weekend either last year or the year before, and so I think I operated some of those. And along those lines, 6 meters has been kind of interesting. You go all day and not see much, and then all of a sudden here's Bermuda or something, and one day over the weekend there was a lot of stuff coming in from South America, Central America, stuff like that. So, good deal. Bruce, anything?
No, nothing this past month.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
More or less.
Bart, I think we already talked to you. Bill, any QRP stuff? Okay. JB? Nothing? Okay. Nothing, honey. So Bill, Bob, Tim, TK, anybody over here, David? Yeah,
Well,
tell
I
us
told
about
you
it.
earlier about that guy that I've got a contact, it was last week. No, yesterday actually. He was running 500 milliwatts. He was on Mount Rainier. He had a wire antenna up, and I kept hearing him, and I'd hear these other people contact him. I bet he got 30 contacts before I tried. And I was only running like maybe 80 watts because I turned my radio down to turn on my linear so I don't overpeak it. And I got him first try. But the real funniest thing about it was, and it was kind of neat, he was asking everybody what their kind of a rag-to thing with it. He was asking everybody what antennas they were using, and most of them, I'm going to say all of them, were all vertical antennas. You ain't having very much luck with people with beams. So, I don't know, and that's kind of unusual. But I thought him running only 500 milliwatts, and as nice as his signal was, I mean, it wasn't down in the mud or anything. I have a real high signal level at my house, noise level.
What band was he on?
20, which is unusual too. I think it just happened to hit the right time, you know, and he said at the end of when he was, you know, he started to, he said something about having to cook dinner or something like that, because this was in the afternoon, that he was gonna, after dinner, he was gonna get on 40 meters, but I never heard him on 40, so.
Okay, good deal. All right, well, it's 7:23, so Smokey's going to get set up here for bars. Anybody else anybody's thought of anything they want to add or questions or anything like that? If not, we'll tie a ribbon on another one and see everybody or some of you on June the 22nd. Thank you all very much.